Ki Nongialam ki badan hapo Kshatri jong Khasi Jaintia Deficit School Teachers Association kila kintu ya Sorkar jela bahkan kintiu ya Dianas allowance ki Nongialam kaban yaha bat ke jingyo ki nong tre Sorkar Khasi Jaintia Deficit School Teachers Association kala aipor ya Sorkar hadu khat santrik ukilaling kod arjar arpunrio ban pin orlong ya jingdawa jongki dakba birngem ban pinlong da kajing ki lada ki jingdawa jongki kim sei so yakini karai nashim ha kajingalang kabla long minta kasni ka khat santrik unopra arjar apusan hamadan malki ha kabalawan yashim binta di kinong hikai nagi district bapher ha kajingakran u president ka association uba pala ulo ong ba ka sorkar ka lek keleng banit sam pisa katba ka da jo kinong hikai pan kaslam ban pelai
They use a beautiful word, attractive word, standardization. But then if standardization has to come from the government, I don't trust it. I don't trust the government with many things. I don't trust the way it runs schools. I think the government itself in the past saw that defect from the side of the government. That is why the past governments supported the deficit teachers, supported the deficit system. Only last year and this year, there is this blatant case, bizarre case of harassment of deficit teachers, the snatching away of the rights of deficit teachers. There is another case, the guidebook, the Miss Guidebook probably, or what we call the CM Guidebook. What is that CM? CM, it looks like cheap marks guidebook, as I've said in the past. So this is a clear deterrent for good students. Good students are deprived. At the back of the guidebook, it is written, if you read this guidebook, you will get what, 60-70%, I don't remember that number. But if you look at the back of the guidebook, there is something written like that. Who writes something like that in a guidebook? Who writes something like that in a guidebook? It is too shameful. Only shameless people do that. There is this evil symbiosis between the government, the chief minister, the minister, and the officials. We have to be very much aware of this. In fact, this non-enhancement of the DA is because of this evil symbiosis between these two groups. The government, the elected representatives who have been elevated to the rank of chief minister, ministers, and the officials, in particular the IAS officials. When they seek to lower us, the deficit teachers, I may ask them, dear IAS officers, how would you feel if you are lowered down to MCS? This is an analogy, quite an appropriate analogy. And I appeal to the many good officers, MCS, IAS, to please help stand against this. I appeal to other members of society to please be aware of this manipulation that goes on inside the People's Secretariat. Please be aware of this and let us rise against this manipulation, this evil manipulation. Clear case of harassment. When a routine thing like the enhancement of the A is denied to us, we, my dear teachers, my dear members of Kjdsta, should not be brainwashed in any way, in any case, by anyone, that this is not a right, that this is too much for us, that this can be done only because of charity. No, it is a right. The DA had been given to us, has been given to us, and will be given to us because of some experts having done study that this is the way to sustain teachers. This is the way to sustain education. This is the way to sustain society. I just want to ask the government now, how does it feel to withhold our rights? How does it feel when you get to go to different places to give money, to distribute money? How does it feel to not give us our rights? Give us RDA. You go all over Meghalaya to give money. Give us RDA. You go all over the Northeast to give money. Give us RDA. And let me say one thing to the government, and thank you. You have kept the money meant for RDA for too long. You have got enough interest. You have got enough interest from that. Give it now. Give it now. Surely, the government under the leadership of such an honorable Chief Minister cannot be too sadistic, because this has become just that. This has become just that. This harassment is sadistic in nature. My dear friends, when we took over as the central body, I in particular as the president, we went through the files and we interacted with the past leaders, and we saw that the leaders had met with the different officials and there was no response, and so we thought we should meet the education minister. At first, he seemed very positive. He seemed to be very good. He gave us hope. But then that hope within 1 week was belied. Then we thought we would meet the chief minister. The chief minister who seemingly has time to interact with the public. He has interacted with many members of the public. We thought he would have the time for us. But it has been almost 20 days since we gave the letter seeking appointment with him. There has been no response. No response. Dear Chief Minister, please respond. Respond. This kind of harassment of teachers, this harassing of teachers only means harassment of the students, of the general public, because right to education is right up there. I would say just a little below to the right to life. And I say, please, Chief Minister, please, government, please, officials, do not push us to the streets. Do not continue to push us to the streets, because if you snatch our rights, we will fight back. We will fight back against this harassment till harassment is zero, and stop making teaching profession unattractive by spreading this kind of harassment. People all over the state know that teachers face harassment. People who have the spirit, who have the capacity to be teachers, hesitate to enter teaching profession. Therefore, right now, I appeal to the parents, to the past pupils, to the present pupils, to support us morally, and support us in any way that you see fit to save education in the state of Meghalaya.
Nama kita ngiyang na kani kapoa ban ong yapi lada piam yo I kumno nama pidon tan ha jaga ha kapi mitrai la se piam poi si skol ki jomi teaching profession by the necessity of the profession calls for punctuality, it calls for answerability, it calls for accountability, and magi kira hikai ngim sim duna kata Om kita orang ikai, uban kelas kendai bece, uban poi kendai siteng. Baik mafia sekretariat, baik mafia kita haki office kiofiar ki jongpi, apa pila aikam ni ki breu ki jongpi, dah kapa punom. Ki poi kan upo, reng no ikai ndai bau hok, unang ikai ndai bau pala hok e kakam, ringa kam ni kedawa na u, bau na abne kam kai. Kakam hi kadawa na u baum le kam tai pat ye kom ye kata kakam pi pat pi le khun je kai kom ye kata kakam pi pat pi le khun je kai pi mot ba pi pi ma pi ki an la pi kham la ki bangi di ban yo hok pat bangi sawan ni pi ngene shong mat pi prai sha pi pu tham ki ngi pat ki sa jam do ngene pa ni dong bangi yo skawi ki promises ki jong pi ye ki assurances ki jong pi en rai ngem yo ai nama kata ko bolo ong ne te ki bon ki nong kran enough is enough have a change ya ki education minister change ru khagyat ya kawan fiat jong nang ikai kan ko ayu pansia change ya ki nong ket kam ya ki minister ya ki menteri ki beri pat ya kan ono watmat tang banya so ba parok promovi Om ban pat pula ya kita ki don kam na kising dom ki jong ki ang ta kisugi nak ta daw hai na por si sen pat siapkan penkut. Before I conclude, I would like to strongly urge and request the government, please, we are teachers and we want to remain in the classroom. Our world is with the children. It is not for us to agitate, but when forced to do so, we will have to listen to the law of our conscience.